Hello, today I'll be making something called Chong Yu Bing. It's basically, it means kind of like an onion oil cake, is kind of what it translates to. It's basically, people call it kind of like a pancake, but it has green onions, Chinese five spice, and oil in it. And you just roll out dough, you put that all on there, and then you roll it up into a coil and you flatten it out and pan fry it for a few minutes, and you cut it up and eat it with the soy sauce. So I'll show you how to make that. Okay, so these are the seasonings that you'll need. Chinese five spice, which this one has cinnamon, fennel, galangal, a couple other things in it. It does seem to vary sometimes what ingredients are included in that. And then you just want some regular old salt, just a sprinkle on the pancakes as you're rolling them out. And then this unlabeled container has white pepper in it. Okay, so first we'll want to start with the dough. In the bowl I have about 10 ounces of just all-purpose flour, and we're going to add about 7 ounces of hot water, and then we'll just start mixing it up. The way I learned how to do it, the person used chopsticks to stir it around, so it's kind of a nice way to do it. Eventually we'll get our hands in there to finish mixing the dough and knead it a little bit as well. But just to start with, we'll do with chopsticks. Okay, so when the dough looks like this, after you mix, this took maybe about 30 seconds. Just put it out onto your cutting board, and then we'll just finish mixing it up and kneading a little bit, maybe just a couple minutes here. You can go ahead and add a little more flour on the board in the dough if it gets still a little sticky. Okay, once that's all mixed up, go ahead and just put a little bit of oil in the bowl, and then put your ball of dough in there. Rub it around the bowl a few times to coat the surface, make sure it's all nice and coated with the oil. And then just want to cover it with plastic wrap while you do the other steps. Okay, so the next thing you'll want to take care of is chopping up the green onions. Just get rid of the root ends here. Get rid of a little bit on the top. It's just a typical green onion slice, just get smaller pieces. About that size. That'll be good size for the pancakes. There's all the green onion chopped. That was about 3 stalks of the bunch of onions. Okay, so next you'll want to take your dough and divide it up into about 6 pieces. They don't have to be precise, as you can see. I'm not very good at making them all the same size. They'll still taste good nonetheless. Okay, so set the other pieces aside. We'll work on one piece at a time. What you want to do is get this piece into a nice rectangle so it's easier to roll out. We're going to be rolling it out kind of like a cinnamon roll. So on a larger rectangle, and then we're putting oil, the green onions, and some seasonings on. So use it. Really, they can kind of be whatever size you want them to be. I have a small, I think it's maybe an 8-inch frying pan that I'll fry these up in. Usually one at a time. I'd say it's probably a good size right there, maybe 8 inches by 3-inch rectangle. Just put a little bit more oil on the surface, rub that in. And then I have here some Chinese 5-spice powder. Just take that and sprinkle some on the surface. And then I have just some regular salt. Sprinkle that on as well. And then I have some white pepper. Sprinkle that on too. Finally, put some of the green onions on top. And now you'll kind of roll it up like you would a cinnamon roll. So start at one of the longer ends and roll. You'll always have little pieces of green onions trying to escape on you. And start from one end and kind of roll itself up, or roll it into itself like this. You'll end up with a kind of like a giant cinnamon roll sorts. And just tuck the other end of it underneath so it stays sealed. And then what you want to do is flatten this out now. Sometimes it might be easier to press down with your hands first. Put the green onions back that are trying to escape on you. Here's one of your pancakes. Just set it aside and then continue doing the same thing with the other pieces of dough. Okay, so the cooking step now. So we'll just get the pan out, put some oil in there, make sure it's coated nicely. Spread that around a little bit. I have this pan kind of medium heat. You don't really want it too hot or you'll burn the pancakes. Just wait a moment for it to get warm up. Okay, once the oil's heated up enough, go ahead and just put one of your pancakes in the pan. And then cook it on each side for just a couple minutes until it's nice and browned. Don't burn it, of course, but get a nice brown on there. Usually just a couple minutes aside. Okay, so given how thin these are, they really don't need a lot of time on each side to brown. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it from this first side and we'll see what it looks like on the other side. I probably could have left that side for longer. I might flip it back over later to get some more browning, but it's coming along nicely. Okay, let's flip the pancake back to its first side and see how that browning is coming along. Nice. Look at that, the nice brown spots. You don't want it burnt, but you do want some brown spots. That'll give you a nice flavor and texture. So we'll give it maybe a minute or more on this side and we'll call it good. Okay, I just flipped it back to the first side again, getting some of the brown spots. I think we'll call this one good. We'll take it out of the pan and set it aside and finish cooking up the rest of them. Okay, the last step for here is to just enjoy it. You can cut it up, or you can just pick it up and open it and see the nice pancake texture and thickness there. Like I said, you can dip it in soy sauce and eat it. You can probably dip in other things too. Eating it plain is fine as well. But yeah, enjoy if you make this, or enjoy looking at it if you don't make it. Thanks.